Resident Evil 5 is genuinely the first Resident Evil game where I just couldn't enjoy playing it alone. I played every mainline game from 0 all the way to 5, and now I'm currently on 6, and everything kept me really interested. Yet, with Resident Evil 5, the action shooter focus immediately put me off when every single game before that was way more fun to play solo. Resident Evil 5 is built off of Resident Evil 4, and for its time, it probably did improve on a lot mechanically. But on a modern PC, it still feels really dated. Resident Evil 4 aged way better, even in the normal vanilla game, because everything about that game works really well for its time. And then you add mods like Resident Evil 4 tweaks, or RE4 tweaks as it's more commonly called, and all the mod support, and that game still feels smooth today. Resident Evil 5 on the other hand, yeah, they completely made the single player of that game not fun. Add to that how it lacks mod support, and yeah, really rough. This was the era where third-person shooters were everywhere. Capcom decided to hop on that bandwagon hard with Resident Evil 5. Everything about this game is co-op focused, so good luck trying to play it alone with the Sheva AI. I genuinely had to adapt to that shit by abusing the auto-aim the AI has, giving her a fully upgraded sniper and a really high capacity and high damage pistol and with a magnum, and abusing the attack and cover commands because that's the best way you can use the Sheva AI. But even outside of that, there are really just some shitty stages where you can immediately tell this was designed for multiplayer co-op and not single player, which in my case sucks because I'm trying to play through every mainline Resident Evil game from 0 all the way to Requiem. The reason why I put a huge emphasis on this game is because a lot of people consider it to be one of the better Resident Evil games. Some people even put it above Resident Evil 6, which is also very action focused, and it's in the same theme. But I really think we should judge both of these games fairly and also consider the single player aspect of it, which you can tell from what I've been saying, they basically abandoned. Environmentally speaking, every other game that follows this gameplay style like Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 6 still has a really interesting atmosphere. Resident Evil 4 has this gray, desolate, and abandoned village feel where you're stuck in the middle of nowhere because Leon's mission is in Spain. Resident Evil 6, even with all the action, still has urban nighttime environments, and Leon's campaign, especially from the beginning, still keeps some of that original horror vibe, which I really like, even with the slow zombies and all. Resident Evil 5, however, does not do this at all. The game is set in Africa, so most of the buildings are all yellow. It's all built with sandstone or something. The base game has this god-awful piss filter, and even if you turn that off with like a mod per se, the game is still set in this really warm desert environment, so you really can't take that off. Even with the nighttime section, with the random El Gigante boss fight there that really felt boring because it's just a turret segment, it really still doesn't feel horror. You completely stop feeling like you're playing a horror game, and instead it feels like every other game in that time. To name a few examples, Call of Duty, Spec Ops The Line, or the Uncharted series, and the inventory being reduced to 9 slots and the removal of typewriters is also just so trash. Playing through all these games again alongside 5 and 6 made me realize just how awful a lot of Capcom decisions were around that era. To end this video, the game is really good when co-op. You'll hear that a lot from people, but alone, it just doesn't really feel like it, and it's such a slog to go through.